I'm buying brand new fucking mic. Like, as soon as we get done. So, like, I'm going right. I already know which one I'll get. If that don't work, I don't. You got me. All right. Anyways, come on. Let's go.
We're back.
Our camera look beautiful, by the way. Like, we have some decent. The only thing it sucks is when we like zoom in to like have it the whole. Yeah, yeah. Who's got the freaking files now?
And I got that bitch. You know we started, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't care. Anyways, all right, guys. This is the Enough Said Sports Podcast, episode 23. I'm more than excited to get to some of these topics. We got a lot to talk about, especially some stuff we got to go over from last episode. Justin motherfucking Fields, and a whole lot of other games to preview this week, especially the London game, the Monday night game, and also the Claypool trade to the Miami Dolphins. Let's get this popping, all right? So, my name is Adam Dickens. That is Trey Adams. Trey, say what's up.
Yep.
Yeah. Trey, how was your week, man?
Oh man, it's.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Cue the intro. All right, we're back from the intro. Thanks, Thomas Wade, for cueing the intro. I'm just playing with you, Trey. How was your week?
Oh shit! Nah, you got me. You got me. Oh,
I think that's what I'm gonna start doing from now. Yes. All right, go ahead.
It wakes me up. It wakes me the fuck up. So I'm good. But nah, everything's groovy. Everything's moving. Good week. Glad it's Friday. College football started. Weekend started. Let's get into the sports, baby.
That's what the hell I'm talking about. Getting down to business, and most importantly, let's talk about Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears stomping ass and taking names. Let's talk about it. We got the Chicago Bears versus who the hell did they go against? I'm tripping right now.
The Commanders? It was just yesterday.
Yeah, the fucking Commanders. They're fucking shit-faced team anyway. Let's do the Bears. But anyways, Chicago Bears. Sorry for any Commanders fans out there. What a waste of space. Anyways, so Chicago Bears versus the Washington Commanders. Justin Fields. I said on our previous show ahead of time, I said Justin Fields had some momentum coming into the game, and he was going to keep that going. And the only way he was going to do it was DJ Moore was going to burn forwards at cornerback for the Commanders, just like A.J. Brown did the week before that. And guess what fucking happened? Okay? Now, at the same time, the Bears almost gave it up. But Justin Fields put it out at the end, scored another touchdown. He had 4 total touchdowns, I believe, and 285 or 6 yards, something like that. And so, yeah, had a good-ass game relatively compared to the rest of the season. So, Trey, what did you notice anything watching that game besides my boy showing up, so that?
Yes, I am a fan of Sam Howell. I am a fan of Sam Howell. I'm a fan of Sam Howell. Hold on, I feel like I gotta get this out. I do not like how they started slow. I absolutely do not like how they started slow. But when they woke the fuck up, it showed me that this guy is not as bad as people think. He's really not. I honestly believe, and you could call me a hater on the Bears. I honestly believe the Bears didn't win that game. The Commanders lost it, and I think it's a big difference. That's just me. You could call me a hater all you want, Chicago fans. I know y'all don't exist, so I don't give a fuck. But let's be real here. Y'all didn't win that game. The Commanders lost it. If they would have played like that in the first half, it would have been an easy blowout. But they lost. Take y'all L. But yeah.
That is probably the most idiotic takeaway you could possibly come from. Okay, I'm going to start this off hot. What's the difference between Sam Howell and Taylor Heinicke? Let's be honest. There's not a fucking difference. This is the same team, almost like the same team identity. They play exactly the same. There's not a difference. And we're going to continue to be honest. Like, he shows flashes of, good toughness at a quarterback for his size. Okay? I'll give him that. But at the end of the day, it's the same game manager or fighting to stay alive every fucking week. Like he fought to. I mean, granted, he fought to stay alive against the Eagles just to go to overtime. He beat himself up for just for it all not to matter and catch an L. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the fact that you had to take away that Sam Howell is a good quarterback and you like him, like it's fucking just give the man who deserves his fucking props, who is damn near people were trying to fire him after 3 weeks. Give him his props. Well, 2 weeks. They tried to fire him after 2 weeks. Justin Fields. Give him the props, not Sam Howell, who honestly, whether they win or lose, it doesn't really matter, and people still like just like yourself.
And that's because he's a better quarterback. It is. He's a better quarterback. I'm not. I just think again they came out the gate slow. The defense on the Bears did their job early, and the Bears offense capitalized. I'm not negating that in any kind of way or form, but I do believe again they shot themselves in the foot. They cheddar bobbed themselves, as I would say. Plaxico Bears themselves, however you want to call it. They shot themselves in the foot. They shot themselves. I don't necessarily think it was the Bears doing anything spectacular or special. No, they finally gave their superstar the ball after he only had one touchdown this whole season. About time you give your best wide receiver the ball. Come on now, like it's about time. I don't think they did anything special, and I don't think Justin Fields played his ass off. No, I don't. I think if anything, they did what they was kind of fake supposed to do. But again, it was more of the Commanders losing than it was of them winning. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I'm gonna be honest. I was a little scared after 3 quarters that the Bears were kind of blow it, kind of like they did against the Broncos. I was a little scared, and then there was a moment when the last touchdown went to DJ Moore, and I was like, I think something's clicked. I really do, and I still think it's a hot streak. I think it's a momentum thing. Again, younger quarterbacks, when they start feeling themselves, they go on hot streaks, they go on low streaks. It's just all what it was. Justin Fields did this last year. The year before that, he just has, good span of, 4 games, something like that, and then, we won't hear nothing else. But I'm not giving Sam Howell credit for fucking losing the game. I'm just not. If we want to do this every week about the fucking Sam Howell, we can just like we do it over Justin Fields. But I'm gonna overly criticize him. I don't know. I think you do have an affection for undersized white quarterbacks that somewhat look like Baker Mayfield. So I'm starting to be concerned about your sexuality a little bit.
He does remind me of Baker, though. The old Baker. I kind of like it.
Oh, okay. This is a little awkward. Yeah, I feel a little uncomfortable. I think he's like a non-sparky, aggressive version of Baker Mayfield. At the end of the day,
he said not less sparky.
Sparky, aggressive. Like, you know how Baker's got like a little edge to him? Like, you take the edge off and you got somehow. Like, this is his fucking clone copy of what he is.
He has his own thing. Let's not categorize him. He got his own thing, and I like it.
Okay, that's a little weird. But yeah, I just if you're a betting person or fantasy football, whatever it is, for the next couple weeks, I'm riding with Justin Fields because upcoming if he continues his hot streak, which I believe he will for at least a few games, he's got the Vikings next week. I'll take that. Is it next week or? Yeah, next week he's got the Vikings. I could see that being offensive, back and forth. Then he's got the Raiders. I could see them winning both of those games if Justin Fields is on the hot streak. Then the Chargers, a little shaky about that. But then the Saints, who's just not a good team either. And then the Panthers. It's definitely the little hot streak is gonna stop with the Lions. The Lions seem pretty damn legit at the moment. So they've got a few games to keep the momentum going. I could see it lasting about 2 to 3 more weeks. That's honestly what I see. So if you're Batman, put that over for Justin Fields, whether it's specifically touchdown. Yardage is a little sketch right
Y'all, he's saying that. I'm not saying that shit. That's all on him. So if you lose your money, go blame Adam. But staying on
now. You could
quarterback.
have you could have made money last week, and that's what you probably should have done. All I'm saying is, if you would have listened to me last week, could have been rolling in some dough. But it is what it is.
But staying on the topic of quarterbacks that need to get hot, we're going to jump into that first game on Sunday. That's in London again for the Jags, but they are the away team against the Bills. And at this point, it's pretty much for the Jags put up or shut up. I know they're 2-2. Everybody in their division is 2-2, so that's not helping. And this is, I'm not going to say it's a do or die game because the Bills are coming off of a good game against the Dolphins, but they need to do something immediately. They need to score points, play defense. They need an identity because right now they're just lost. So from that game, who do you expect to, or if you expect anybody to play well or show up for the Jags, who would that be?
I don't know. I think some fish and chips, mate. Mind your gap. London slang bullshit. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So don't hold me to it. I think that the number one takeaway that you really gotta have is that at the end of the day, the Jags have an advantage because they've been chilling in London for 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, and they're used to living because they had a game in London last week. They stayed there. It's not back and forth. They wouldn't do that. At least I don't think they would. Could be wrong. And so they have the advantage. Also, the Jags are just a international team because they get this London game every year for like the past 3 to 4 years. So they do have a bigger fan base. So they can be the away team. Essentially, they're the home game because they're going to have more fans, regardless of how big Josh Allen is over here. And also, if you want to give the Jags some little prop ups, Tre'Davious White is out for the season. He tore his Achilles, I believe Achilles, last week. And so Justin Poyer's having injury issues too. That whole secondary is pretty damn beat up. Also, they're still missing Von Miller. He's still out. And a couple other pass rushers.
He's expected to be back. He is expected to play Sunday. He said bet on it that he'll play. Von Miller? Yeah.
No, he's not. It says he's out on the ESPN injury report. But, if you saw something different, let me know. I think that with that being said, the Bills are still going to win. This is the best chance that the Jags have. But I'm going to be honest. I think both of us were really high on this team coming in the offseason for obvious reason of the Jags. But it doesn't seem to be it this year for them. I think we hit maybe a little too early. They seem just a little too fragile in my opinion. So yeah, I'll take the Bills. I think the Jags might put up a fight, but the Jags seem to only beat semi-bad teams. So I mean, I don't know. What's your opinion on this London game?
I think we need the offense to wake up. I know I've been saying that for a couple of weeks now in regards to the Jags. We need that offense to wake up. We need to see Doug Peterson get creative. We need to see him use these weapons that they got. They need to put it all together. It's jail time now. It's jail time. They have to freaking mesh, come together, figure it all out, and not let alone just that. They have to put it all together out on the field. So in a way, if you ain't gonna play defense, you gotta outscore somebody. If you ain't gonna throw the ball and be a pass team, run the ball with ETN and make sure it's effective. It got to be one or the other, but something has to give because the later it gets into this season, they're not going to be in a position where they can win their division the way it's looking. I mean, everybody's evened out, and if it continues more, I feel like they're going to the playoff. The playoff bid is going to slowly go away, and it's not going to be available for them anymore. So I think if they're going to pull away and try to win their division straight out without any last minute games and hoping and praying that God says, all right, both of y'all teams is going to tie in the division or some bullshit like that, they got to come away with it now. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I hope that they do something magical and surprise the shit out of us.
Yeah, I think it's all fun and games when you can blame, you losing on Urban Meyer. and now that excuses kind of went out the window. If we're being honest, like you can only kind of look at yourself and reflect as a team. Like we just not getting this done, and it's not because our coach is bad anymore. It's not the easy scapegoat. And so, like I said, I think they're just a little bit too young. I do agree with you. This is make or break time for the Jags if they really want to make a rush for the playoffs. This is it because after these next couple of weeks, they can really get ugly. You know what I mean? I think a team that we might have, a little bit more hope in is this Ravens team coming up this week versus the Steelers, the Steel Curtain, versus the Lamar-led Ravens. The rumor is Odell will be coming back. Is this something? Which way are we leaning when it comes to the Steelers versus the Ravens this week?
Kenny Pickett was a question mark this whole week. He is expected to play. But the way their offense has been inconsistent and shaky, I would not expect anything really much from them. I do think the Ravens take this one. I do think, again, Lamar has been playing his behind off in a way and doing what he needs to do. And I feel like the team now needs to just rally behind that and get with the program in a way. And Odell definitely will add to that. So even if he's not out there and he's getting all the attention or the catches and receptions that he needs, it'll be a decoy. So again, it's just his presence. I think you'll notice his presence in an immediate impact the moment he gets on the field. But I definitely would say I have the Ravens taking this one. I do believe they're at the Steelers, but again, I don't think Pickett is 100%, and I think that's going to get to them.
Well, I mean, I don't think Kenny Pickett's like just questionable based on the injury. I think he's questionable about whether he's going to be good this season because he hasn't. We're being straight up. I think he had some big expectations coming into this year. Also, when I went back and looked at the Steelers' wins and losses, they obviously lose to good teams, and they win to bad teams. And so it kind of looks like they're in that mid to low tier because they lost to the 49ers and they lost recently to the Red Hot Texans. And then I can't remember the losses, but they're pretty sucky-ass teams. And so that tells me that they're not one of those top tier teams. It's not what they are gonna be this season. I also think the Ravens side, we need to talk about them a little bit more because Lamar's 8 touchdowns on the year, only 1 interception. It's not an MVP year, but he's still putting up some good points and leading that team to seemingly an okay record. And I think it stays like that. But the Ravens aren't a bad team, so I don't think the Steelers are going to have a shot to beat them. I don't think they're outstanding, but they're not in that low tier. And so I've got the Ravens going all the way, if I'm being honest. You didn't really say who you thought was going to win, or which way you leaning?
No, I said the Ravens. I definitely said the Ravens will win this game. I think they need to fix their offense around Lamar in the sense of everybody else needs to play better. I don't think anything he's doing is again he's doing what he needs to do so they can stay relevant and get these W's that they need to. But everybody else needs to pick up and get with the program. So, but I definitely have the Ravens winning this game though, definitely.
And guys, really pay attention to Zay Jones, who's having a sneak. Not Zay Jones. Jesus Christ, why do I fuck this up every time? Zay Flowers for the Ravens. I'm tripping. Who's having a sneaky good season. It's not like, jumping out there, but you can tell the Ravens are really leaning towards him. Obviously, Odell's out, with his injury. But, I mean, everybody else, as far as a receiver on this team last year and years previous, are pushed aside, and Zay Flowers is leading the way for that wide receiver corps. Just a little tip. Just a little tip.
Just something to keep an eye on in regards to wide receivers. But in speaking of wide receivers that's coming back from injuries this week, and they can come back at a better time for the Rams, Mr. Cooper Kupp. He's expected to play this week against against the Eagles. Excuse me. They are at home, so that is a little advantage that they have against the Eagles. And the Eagles haven't been playing their best football. They're still trying to figure out their identity again, even though we all know what it is. But they're still trying to figure stuff out. So, is this safe to say that this is the upset alert?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think so, but it's not for like. I'm not knocking the Rams. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just so curious about how this offense is gonna look with Cup back.
With who? Say his name. Say his name.
I say it right, Puka Nacua.
Ooh, that boy's a beast. That man is a beast.
And I think the way Stafford traditional offense works is like the second receiver don't get much love. I mean, you got the Odell year that kind of like disproves what I'm saying, but like that's it. That's really it.
That's the best.
I think what Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua do overlap so much that they're not going to get the equal treatment. And if you got to choose between Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, that's a lot.
Cooper Kupp and Puka. say that name three times fast.
Oh God. I think you got to choose between the two, and who gets obviously most of the catches and most of the targets. You got to go Cooper Kupp, and I hope this. What I'm saying is, I hope this doesn't make Puka Nacua irrelevant from here on out, because it's been such a good moment. I just don't want that to disappear. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this offense is gonna look totally different, and I think that takes an adjustment, and it takes a couple games to really get in that. But they were already somewhat struggling to finish out games and to get wins. Just I don't think this is it. And so I'll go with the Eagles. Either way, no matter what, because it's the Eagles, this game will be competitive to the end. The Eagles aren't trying to blow anybody out, it seems. It's going to be a close game no matter what game they're in pretty much all season. And the Eagles are going to pull out because it's what they've been doing. Just pull out everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. I was trying to be Paul. I was trying to make it look like I was paused, but holy shit, pause. Well, fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. They're going to come out firing. This offense is going to look dope. What they're with their running back. Damn, I forgot his name is making me mad because I bet on him.
Aaron Williams. Damn,
Williams. That doesn't sound right.
Aaron. Not Karen Williams. The fuck you think you're an old white lady complaining about?
That's what I thought I heard. I was like, huh?
Discount prices at Walmart.
I like what their offense is going to look like. I know what their offense is going to look like. It's going to be very powerful and it's going to be very fun to watch. Just be on the lookout for this offense. But yeah.
So you think it's going to be the twin slot receivers in Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, and it's going to be they gotta have a combo nickname if they do have a good game, both of them.
First thing, we're not gonna act like San Fran doesn't do the same thing with Debo and Ayuk. We're not gonna act like they don't do the same thing. So
they don't.
Yes, they do.
They rarely ever have like the same good game. It's always one of the two.
No, that's now because McCaffrey's there. But before, they both would have a decent game. They both would end with 60 yards. One of them would have a touchdown. And again, it was also depending on who the freak the quarterback is. Now that Purdy is obviously the guy, no, I think it's too many weapons on that team. But this team, they only got 2 wide receivers and a decent running back. And then we're talking about a rookie running back. So are we really going to rely on a rookie running back or a rookie wide receiver that's been showing that he can freaking get stats and everything? No. I just think their offense is going to be more fluid. I know you're questioning it because a superstar is coming back. But Sean McVay, if anybody, I trust him offensively to know what the hell he's doing. He's going to implement it, and it's going to act like Cooper Kupp never left. That's all I'm going to say.
So we're going to go on a little tangent real fast, and specifically about Cooper Kupp. Here's some fun facts. So Puka, obviously, I thought it kind of similar to Hawaiian, but he is Samoan and Hawaiian, so pretty much he's what the Rock is. Puka actually means fat and chubby in Samoan. and it's because when he was a baby, he was like a super chunky ass baby. Which I mean, let's be honest, Samoans traditionally are. You know what I'm saying? You got my dude from Moana. What's his name? That the Rock played.
Wow, not
What's his name?
Maui.
What's his name? Yeah, Maui. I think that's what I'm gonna start calling from now on, Maui. And so yeah, that's a little fun fact. But I want to take a little break off from the little fun facts. What do we think about? Have you heard about Brock Purdy and talking about his living situation?
No, I'm not really informed about that. What's up?
Okay, obviously we know he doesn't get paid a lot because he was drafted
Not
199, right?
900K.
Nine 900K. So he lives in an apartment with a roommate in San Fran because to save money and obviously because he doesn't make that much and he's still in his rookie contract. So what do you think about something like that? I mean, obviously San Fran has a pretty high cost of living, uh, but I do find it very funny that the leader of the one, if not the best team, one of the best teams in the NFL, has a random ass roommate who's probably like a yoga instructor fucking down the street as his roommate. So,
It's
what do you think about that?
it is eye opening or eye popping, whatever you want to call it. It is a shocker. It's like wow, like you say, he might be roommates with a third grade English teacher for all we know. But it's like it's crazy to think that, and then he goes out there on Sundays and acts like, I mean, yeah, he's probably getting paid the least or one of the least highest on the team, and he's expected to perform at the highest level, and we expect that from him. But the guy's only getting paid 900 because of where he was drafted, and again, he was a diamond in the rough. So it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he gonna go from an apartment to goddamn making bank when his time, but he got to get through it. He got to get through it somehow. That's tough. That's tough.
Facts. He reminds me of like Captain America, like before he got the super soldier serum, like like kind of puny but like good hearted soul and like what I'm saying, just a good little boy wonder. That's what he reminds me of so much. But yeah, so I think what the hell were we talking about? Yeah, we already kind of finished the subject going on. Let's talk about another one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Even though they run into a couple struggles, but we got the Kansas City Chiefs with Patty Mahomes versus the Vikings. Nothing to hype the Vikings up. Old Kirk Cousins leading the way. Do we think that at all that the Vikings have a chance to upset the Chiefs, especially with some of the recent struggles that the Chiefs have had, specifically against Zach Wilson and the Jets?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't want to overlook the whole, like you said, what they just experienced. I wouldn't look much into it. It's the Vikings, for God's sakes. They fucking suck. They have no identity other than slinging a rock and hoping and praying one of their receivers does a yak yards after. I wouldn't. It's not a consistent offense. They barely beat the goddamn Panthers last week, so we're not gonna sit here and act like they're a hot team or they're a team to watch. We're not gonna act like that. So with that being said, no. I think Patty goes out there. I do think like Justin Jefferson has another good game of over 100 yards. Kirk Cousins could throw maybe 2 touchdowns. But at the end of the day, I definitely feel like Patty's going to be Patty. He'll find a way, as he normally does, to get a W. Fucking bastard. But yeah, I wouldn't look much into it. And that's really because of how bad the Vikings are. They just suck. They are really a bad team. Did agree or disagree?
Oh, fucking! I actually changed my entire mind. Okay, I think you need to put some fucking respect on Kirk Cousins' fucking name this week. First off, it's in Minnesota. Okay, the biggest factor in this is that Taylor Swift will most likely, don't hold me to it, will not be at this motherfucking game. Okay,
Wow.
and so Swifties will be out of the building. Okay, so fuck that. I also think that yes, again, I believe in momentum a little bit. And granted, they only beat the Panthers last week in the Vikings, but I think it's still something to it. You give a little encouragement from those, even the little wins. And I think that you got to give something to that. I also think that yes, Kansas City's been struggling. They are struggling against. They're kind of having what the Eagles are having problems with is struggling against teams they should just outright blow out. But when you go to the final few seconds with the fucking Jets and you have to beat them on a quarterback run, I think that speaks to something that Kirk Cousins. If it's one thing Kirk Cousins can do is score fucking points, and so it really doesn't matter whether they're gonna run or pass the ball because we all know what they got to do to win, and that's gonna be pass the ball, and that's what you got to do to keep up with the Chiefs. And if Kansas City is gonna struggle offensively like they have, then you want a high-powered offense, and that's what as long as, and this is a big if, Kirk Cousins and that team doesn't get sloppy and a lot of turnovers. If they can keep the ball safe and have that high-powered offense, they'll be good. But you just can't turn the ball over. That's the biggest fucking issue that they had. And turnovers come and go. So, I mean, that's the confidence I got. You got a Minnesota home game, no Taylor Swift, a good offense that can go up against Kansas City just as well. Give it to them. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay?
I think she just told everybody that so it's not as hyped up, but I think she'll be there.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just assume because it's in Minnesota, it's not a Chiefs home game. She won't be there. But, I mean, she's in the suites anyway. She don't really care about fans and shit.
But no, you can't say that because every time they say she's at a game, the views go up and they make it a big deal to media, and they always got to make the correlation of where she's at, who she's with, and it's just like it's a fake distraction possibly. But I think she'll be there. I think she would.
I don't care about that. Hold on. We're not going past this real quick. Everybody's talking about Taylor Swift. Well, let's talk about the real prize, okay? The thick, ultimate, sexy-ass cougar prize. And Donna fucking Kelsey, son. Donna fucking Kelsey, Travis's and Jason's mom, who is just a thick-ass stallion. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is up there with Meg the Stallion, fucking Beyonce. Like, she got some ham hocks and biscuits on them legs, and I'm all for it. And that's who should really show up. And Kansas City might have a slim little fucking chance if Don Kelsey fucking shows up and shows some support to Travis. That's the only chance that the Kansas City has against the fucking Minnesota Vikings.
What are you trying to get on a Chunky commercial? What the fuck was that? I don't even know what the fuck that's about.
Hey, I think that was a good plea. You know what I'm saying? Good fucking plea.
You're by yourself on that one. You're by yourself on that one.
I'll be like Donovan McNabb. You know what I'm saying? On the Campbell's commercial. All right, anyways, let's go on. By the way, Donna Kelsey, you have my heart. Go ahead.
Pat, that's a clip for you. Please blow that up, please. Talking about how power offenses, we're going to talk about how the Dolphins just traded for Chase Claypool from the Bears for pretty much absolutely nothing. Do you think that was a good trade? Do you think that was like, all right, let's just try to get a better offensively? Was it needed? What's your take on the Claypool going to Dolphins? Does it make them better? Just what's your take?
I think that at the end of the day, you're talking about a player in Claypool that has been with the Bears and the Steelers, and neither one of those teams are winning. Let's be honest. And I think he's going to a team like the Miami Dolphins, who's having a relatively good fucking season. And I think you have a quarterback with a coach who loves creativity and loves using weapons at the best they can.
My guy.
And so you got. I'll give it to the genius minds. You want to call Mike McDaniels that? You got to give it. I think they'll figure out a way to use him. specifically, they could really use him goal line, which is what everybody thought when he came out of Notre Dame, I believe.
Mm.
How they can use him. Pretty much put his ass at a slot receiver and just make his ass pretty much a tight end. Get him to run a fucking slant in the fucking end zone and call it a fucking day. Like he did. Like don't put and he's also going there in a position where he doesn't have a lot of responsibility.
Mm.
Especially at a receiving core that's already pretty fucking thin as it is, besides it being top heavy with Waddle and Tyreek. So I mean, all those factors in, I think this is only a good thing. And worst case scenario, you lose out on a couple low round fucking picks. So I think this has to be a win-win. What do you think about yourself? Because you're a big Mike McDaniel's fucking cocksucker, apparently, according to the last few weeks. Yeah, I said a white term, cocksucker. What about it?
I think my guy is a genius and he'll figure out how to use him to the best of his ability. I think Claypool will end up having some fun that he is lacking clearly with he had with the dumbass Bears. And I think Mike McDaniel would do his job in a sense of making sure that he's able to utilize his skills to the best of his ability. If that's one thing I know Mike has been able to show since became a head coach is that. So with that being said, I don't necessarily like the trade in a way, but again, for Claypool, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. You go to Miami, you're on a winning team now, so you have no complaints, so you shouldn't have any complaints. If anything,
he can get some sunshine. He can get some sunshine down.
He need to get some speed. That's what he needs.
That's not what he needs. Okay. Well, first off, I think underrated aspect of his game that wasn't put to use in the two places he's been is him being able to go for jump balls because he is a wider, big receiver who can do that. And let's be honest, that's kind of what Miami needs because Waddle and Tyreek ain't jumping over folks. We know what they're good at, and that's not it. So I think that adds another aspect to Miami Dolphins.
I like it.
You feel me?
I like it.
You feel me? Well, let's talk about Monday Night Football. And I will not be watching it because I have to work tonight. But anyway, no one cares about that. We have the Raiders versus the Green Bay Packers. The Raiders are coming in with a 3-game losing streak, but I'm not trying to persuade you at all. How do we think that game plays out?
I'm not trying to persuade you at all. Yes, because they started off 1-0, and now look at them. They're down there with my Denver Broncos, pieces of shit. But yeah, I don't expect anything from them. I gotta look to see it necessarily if Jimmy Garoppolo is expected to play or not.
He is. He got cleared from concussion protocol.
So he's back. I hope Jair Alexander's back. That's what I'm hoping for. Because if Devontae Adams seems like he's on the hot streak. He's like, I don't care who my quarterback is, I'm getting the ball. So I just need they need to be fully prepared being the Packers defensively because that secondary is very, very thin. And they're not necessarily playing their best football defensively. They need to do better too. But if I have to pick somebody to win this game, I'm gonna go with a fan favorite, and I'm gonna go with the Packers.
I definitely agree with you. I think a friend of our show, Razul Douglas, is actually going to play a big part in this game just because you're going against more of a conservative quarterback in Jimmy G, bro. I'm not going to fucking try his damn name. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, porn star getter. Yeah, he's pretty conservative as a quarterback, not necessarily in the bedroom, apparently, according to Google. And then you have Razul, who's willing to be a little bit more aggressive and bite down on plays, especially how that Raiders offense, their passing scheme. I think he's going to play a big factor. If I had an over and under on 0 interceptions, I would say I'll give the over. Give him one good interception just based on the matchup. And just for the hell of it, man. The Raiders are coming. They lost they're lost 3 games straight. They lost 3 or 4 games, obviously, because this is how many we played so far. I just I still there's chances can be very competitive because Jordan Love's struggling a little bit. Um, but yeah, I'll give it to the Packers just overall a better team. And I don't think the Raiders really know who they are. Plus, fuck Josh McDaniels. He's not a good coach. He's not a good coach at all.
If you didn't know what a grudge was, and you couldn't hear what a grudge is, that was perfectly timed. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's just fucking cheating some bitch. Like that's just what it is. Fucking. Anyways, go ahead. I'm done talking. Fuck that man.
So from Monday night to Sunday night, and I think this is the game of the week. I think this is the best game of this week. We have America's teams, pretty much. The real America's teams. For all you old heads out there, freaking dirtbags. You have the 49ers versus the Cowboys. So you've got pretty much every old head and their mama talking about this damn game, and they're going to be sitting there talking about the 80s and 90s, even though it's 2023.
Sorry. Good.
49ers obviously undefeated, remain undefeated. And then you got the Cowboys had a blowout game against the Patriots last week. So both are coming off of good wins and riding high, I would say. What's going to be the key focal points of this game?
I think the major focal point for all of this, honestly, is going to be. It's got to be depth. It's got to be. He's a big factor because we know that if you turn the ball over against the 49ers, they capitalize on it and they will chew the fucking clock up and they're going to get in the zone, and that's what they do fucking best. And I don't see the Cowboys not being careless. Like, granted, the Cowboys whooped the fuck out of my New England Patriots. I can't tell you how many people brought that up to me last week, and it's like I don't want to have to relive the moment. But anyways, I just don't see the Cowboys not being careless versus the 49ers. And again, I hate to go against Cowboys because I feel like they keep proving me wrong. But at some moment, they're going to fuck up. And you know who, at the end of the day, is Gilmore going to stop, those receivers out? You know what I'm saying? I said Ayuk. But yeah, is he going to stop them? I mean, let's be honest. You don't have Trayvon Diggs anymore. It's just not a good look. I think for this Cowboys team, it's easy to say when you can stop a Patriots team that doesn't have a true number one at receiver. But somebody like the 49ers who had pretty much 2 number ones, kind of like what you said earlier, and then the fucking running back, the best running back this year. You know what I'm saying? It just, yeah, that's how I see it. What about you though? Because I feel like you're a little bit more on the opposite side. Then I feel like you have a higher opinion of the Cowboys. I could be wrong.
I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Cowboys are home, right? Or are they at the 49ers? I'm not sure. I need to.
I'll look it up.
I need to know.
It is at San Fran, so they are traveling across the country.
Oh, good God. And that it plays a factor. Like that's really a big factor. But I'm confident that the Cowboys are not going to play like shit and go out there and look like dog shit on Sunday Night Football. I do think they're going to lose though. But I think it'll be a close game till I think whoever, again, obviously makes the least amount of turnovers win this game. And I feel like it's going to come down to the last drive. I honestly believe that. But I do think they're going to put on a show, and it's going to be whoever has the, obviously defensively, who has the most turnovers, and offensively, who doesn't turn the ball over. That's who's going to win this game.
I do find, and I agree with you. I really do. I would say maybe an extra couple. I think it would be a little bit wider than what you think. But anyways, I do think it's funny that like people have this perception of Dak that's like, oh, bad, quarterback and doesn't make good decisions. But then like Brock Purdy's like, you know, America's favorite underdog pretty much. And their stats are super similar this year. You got Dak with 4 touchdowns and 1 interception and 900, 900 yards. And you got Brock Purdy with 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 1,000. Like they're putting up very similar numbers now. Whether it continues for the rest of the year, I just think that's an intriguing perception versus reality type of deal, specifically for this year. Um, Not trying to include Dak's history or anything like that. Just saying. But yeah, I think this week's football is gonna go fucking crazy. Um, and I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping. I feel like in the middle of the week I start getting like football sick because we haven't seen anything for a few days. But you know how it goes. But yeah, man. Any last word for the listeners? Before we go.
Nah, fuck y'all.
Yeah, fuck y'all. I'm getting a new mic for you guys. You guys are making me pull some money out and buy a new mic because my shit sounds like shit right now. I'm sorry if I hurt your ears. So the audio quality will be better. I'm assuming by next week. Yeah, sorry about that. But I've tried everything with this fucking mic and shit, just like you guys. So, all right, I think. Oh, fuck, I forgot. There's our commercial at the end of this video. Check them out. Instagram, website www.jtech.com. DM them if you want a discount. Keep those locks in. That protect the hairstyle clean and lint free. Shout out those guys. Also, fuck you, piece of shit. We're out. Love you guys.